and that for derivation of the second harmonic distortion, the method which we are going to use is 3-point method, and continuation to that, we are having our next topic, power output due to distortion. So power output due to distortion, here we have to find out the total power dissipation. So when we are having distortion also, some amount of power is being dissipated. So that we need to consider during anyhow, whether it is having distortion or not, power dissipation will be there. But here we are trying to find out the output power including the distortion. So for that, the first step what we consider is PAC formula. So what is PAC formula? The final formula what we are having in terms of current and resistance. Kirtana,
Yes, sir.
what is the AC power equation in terms of
We
current and
got,
resistance?
yes, sir. The final equation was VCC squared by 8 RL. Before that, we had got PAC will be equal to half into V max minus V min by 2 into I max minus I min by 2.
Okay, so there we are having this one also, right? Im square RL by 2. So this is one equation. To this equation, we are substituting Im is equal to I max minus I min by 2. So from our second harmonic distortion, what is I max minus I min by 2? Just look into the derivation what we did yesterday. Do we have any parameter whose
So
equation
IM,
is? Yeah, I am fine. Along with that, we have B0, B1, B2.
B1, sir.
Yeah, it's B1. It is equivalent to B1. So take this as equation 2. So now Im is equal to I max minus I min by 2, and also this I max minus I min by 2 is equal to B1. So now we are going to substitute Im value by B1. If you want, you can write one more step, substituting I max minus I min by 2. After that, replace that by B1. So otherwise, you can directly write it. So now PAC, power AC, becomes half B1 square RL. So this B1, whatever we are having now, is this B1 related to the fundamental frequency or harmonic frequency?
Harmonic frequency, sir.
Harmonic
Fundamental
frequency.
frequency, sir.
It is fundamental frequency because B0, B1, B2, we are having B2 is having 2F. This is having F. So this is fundamental frequency. That means this is our pure AC signal which we are supposed to get or which we are expecting. If you get B2, then that is the harmonic component. So B1 is our fundamental frequency component. Now the total power delivered to load with second harmonic distortion is, so PAC D is equal to AC power due to fundamental component plus AC power due to second harmonic distortion. So total power means it is a composition of both the power due to fundamental component and power due to harmonic distortion. So if you can give power due to fundamental component as half B1 square RL, how you can express AC power due to second harmonic distortion? If I can write AC power due to fundamental component as half B1 square RL, then how we can write similar kind of equation for AC power due to SHT?
Sir, half B2 square.
B2 square RL.
Yes, good. So half B2 square RL. Now take out half B1 square RL outside, common term. Now it becomes 1 plus B2 square by B1 square. Now, so PAC distortion is, so what is half B1 square RL according to equation number 3? It is PAC. So replace it PAC plus 1 plus. So on looking into our second harmonic distortion, what is this B2 by B1? In yesterday's derivation, we are done. B2 by B1 gives what?
D2, sir.
D2, sir.
D2.
Second
What
harmonic
is-
distortion.
Yes. D2, and since we are having square, it is D2 square.
Yes, sir.
So this is the equation for power output due to distortion. So this formulas and all these equations we'll be using in problems. They'll ask you find the total power distortion, power output due to distortion and all. So you need to find out. So if they are given in the question B0, B1, B2, B3, B4 like that. So same way your B2 by B1 is for D2, B3 by B1 will be for B3, B4 by B1 will be for D4. So these are the different harmonics we are having. So this is for the second harmonic. This is the formula. D2 indicates second harmonic distortion. If you are going to extend some more harmonic with some more harmonics, then you will take D3. So where you'll be having same formula with ratio of B3 by B1. So this is about the power output due to distortion. Now, next, moving on to the next topic, it is higher order harmonics. So this higher order harmonics, this can be asked in the form of a theory question, but majority of times I have seen this question is asked in the form of a problem. So they will ask, they'll give a big paragraph telling all whatever will happen in the output, stating that there is 5 extra signals which are produced at the output along with the fundamental frequency, all those things. They'll tell a big story about that. And they'll ask you to find out fifth harmonic, fourth harmonic, like that. So there they'll not give any values. They just ask you to find the harmonics. In that case, you have to do derivation. That is the meaning. Instead of asking you to derive the expression for higher order harmonics, they can ask in the form of a problem. So one complete explanation they'll give, and based on that, you should understand they're asking about higher order harmonics. So now, for higher order harmonics also, the steps what we have followed for second harmonic distortion, the same steps we are going to follow here. We don't have any change, same steps. But there we were ending up with second harmonic. Here we'll continue the harmonics. We'll have next higher order harmonics also. There we were ending up with the B2. Here we take B3, B4, like that. So next harmonics also we consider. So when the order of non-linearity increases, what happens? Automatically harmonic distortion will also increase. So we tell for third non-linearity, we get third harmonic distortion. Similarly, for fourth non-linearity, we get fourth harmonic distortion, and so on. So this will continue for fifth non-linearity, sixth non-linearity. Basically, what do you mean by linearity? What do you mean by linearity?
So the linear dynamic curve, sir. So the expected curve should be a straight line. That is a linear. There's a linearity. The non-linearity means the parabolic curve that is observed.
Okay, I'll give you one device, and I want you to check whether it is linear or non-linear. So in simple words, how you can tell? So this is the kind of technical aspects they'll ask in your interviews. Answer will be
Sir,
very
if your
simple.
output is
Hmm.
Sir, if your output is varying linearly with respect to the input, then it is linear, sir. If not, and if you're getting a curved line, like if you plot on a graph, if you're getting a curved line, then it is non-linear.
See, if your output that given for the given device, if your output is increasing with respect to the increase in the input signal, then you are going to call that the device is linear. So you are increasing the input, output is also increasing. If the device, even though you are in the device, if even though you are increasing the input, the output is not increasing with respect to the input, it might decrease, it might increase. So it is, you cannot predict it, and it is not in proportionate with the input. So such kind of devices are known as non-linear devices. So there, the output cannot be predicted based upon the increase or decrease in the input. So that is the non-linearity. That's why, see, in the harmonics also you can see the frequency what we had given at the input side, that frequency is not replicating at the output side. Especially if you take second harmonic, third harmonic, fourth harmonic, the frequency of the third harmonic is different compared to the frequency what we have given at the input side. So that gives out non-linearity. Whatever is present at the input, the basic features which is present at the input, that should be present at the output. Then only we can tell they're linear, otherwise they're non-linear. Now, for higher order harmonics, even this is a very big derivation, and I have tried to simplify it as much as possible, because since we are going for a cost to the power of 4, so the complexity increases. To an extent we have to derive. After that, I'll give you some shortcut hint. So you should remember that table. If you remember that table, you can derive the rest part of the you can write the equations, because here you will be getting very big equations which is difficult to solve, and it will take a lot of time. So I will give you one table that is nowhere present in any of the textbook. So I have created that table so to make you remember the derivation easily, I mean equations easily. So we'll go ahead. So now we have the basic formula. IC is equal to K1 IB plus K2 IB square plus K3 IB cube plus K4 IB to the power of 4. So you can just look in. So where we had stopped at K2 IB square, now we are still continuing. So take this as equation number 1. So as you know that K1, K2, these are all constants. Next, So let the input be IB is equal to IB max cos omega t. So take this as equation 2. The same steps what we did there. Now substitute equation 2 in 1. When you substitute equation 2 in 1, we get IC is equal to K1 IB max cos omega t plus K2 I square B max into cos square omega t plus K3 IB max cube into cos cube omega t plus K4 IB max to the power of 4 cos to the power of 4 omega t. So let us limit ourselves till 4th to the power of 4. So if you keep on writing, you can write for any number of powers. So we'll limit it to this extent. So take this as equation 3. Now here we have considered up to 4th order nonlinearity. So we are limiting up to 4th order nonlinearity. And by using the same methods, what we have done, substituting B0, B1, B2 in the place of half K2 I square B max, all those things, the same steps we are going to do here. And we substitute it. So we will be getting B0 plus B1 cos omega t plus B2 cos 2 omega t. We are just substituting for we are substituting and we are simplifying it. I am not showing the steps again because we have already done it. Cos 2 omega t plus B3 cos 3 omega t plus B4 cos 4 omega t. So you can avoid that step also. It is just simplification, just substituting it. So on substituting B0, B1, B2, B3, B4 to the above equation, where B0, B1, B2, B3 are the constant values. So you can write the next equation like this. This is your IC. So after this, what is the step which we are done? I'm considering if you look into the second harmonic distortion, what we have done?
So we put different values for omega t, like 0, pi by 2.
That before that there is one step.
So we took that IC is equal to DC plus AC current.
So we drew the graph.
Graph will do. Along with that.
So we wrote this as the instantaneous current is equal to that AC part plus DC part.
Okay.
We arranged it in the increasing order, sir.
Okay. Correct. Any others want to answer? Okay. Now what happens is superimposed, right? Which is superimposed?
AC onto DC, sir.
Yes.
So IC plus I into C. So we are superimposing it, and we are now write the equation. So IC that is equal to, this is our DC current which remains as it is. Substitute B0 plus B1 cos omega t plus B2 cos 2 omega t plus B3 cos 3 omega t plus B4 cos 4 omega t. So take this as equation number 4. After this, plot the graph. We'll plot it. So we take here, remember, we are going to, since we are going to consider higher order harmonics, instead of taking the VI characteristics, we are going to take the IC and IB characteristics. To find out higher order harmonics, we will not take VI characteristics, we will take IC, IB characteristics. So IC will be here and IB will be here. This is the change which we are doing. So for higher order harmonics, we'll have a curve which is coming like this, which is not a linear, it will be like this. So let us assume this is I max. And we'll plot it. Okay. I told you this is the IB and this is the IC. In these two, which is the distorted wave and which is undistorted wave, or undistorted current and distorted current?
IC is distorted, sir. And IB is not distorted.
Why do you tell that it is distorted and this is not
So
distorted?
because IC is the DC current and the harmonic of the AC current. It's the sum of the two, but
Correct. So this is the input current what we are giving. The distortion occurs at the output side, and at the output side, the output current is collector current. So obviously distortion has to come in collector current only. IB is the input current. So that's why distortion we expect in the output. So this is the dynamic curve with fourth order of non-linearity. This is Imax, and this point we call it as Imin, and this is 0. See here, since we are having higher order harmonics, we will plot more points. So this is 0. This is pi by 2. Let us take this as pi by 3. This as, obviously this is pi. This will be 2 pi by 3. This one 3 pi by 2. And here we'll consider this as our DC quiescent current, which comes here, and usually it will be half of the maximum value in general. Okay, the same plotting we will be doing here also. 0, pi by 2. Here it will be pi. Here it will be 3 pi by 2. Finally, here it will be pi. So now, after plotting, what is the next step? What is the next step after plotting?
Substitute omega t values. Sir.
So we substitute omega t value in the equation.
Yes. We are going to substitute. We are going to write the table where we are going to substitute. Okay. So serial number omega t, IB, IC. So the first point. So omega t is equal to 0. At this point, what is IB? IB will also be, I forgot to write, it is IB max. This is IB min. And this will be, that means this will be IB. And this point is considered to be IB max by 2. This is considered to be this one, 2 pi by 3. This is considered to be minus IB max by 2. Okay, I'll repeat it again. IB max, IB min. This is IB. This is IB max by 2. This is minus IB max by 2. So it is not IB max whole divided by 2. It is just IB max divided by 2. Only this portion you are having divided by 2. Don't get confused. For 0, IB will be IB max and IC will be I max. I max, or you can write it as IC max also. Similarly, for the second pi by 3, we are having IB max by 2. This is with pi by 3, and even this point also will mark. This is I half, and this point will mark it as minus I minus half. So I told you this is a bit complicated, but if you practice it, it will be easy. So now at pi by 3 position, for the pi by 3, we are having I half. Next, third one, pi by 2. So what is the value for pi by 2? Pi by 2 is here. Pi by 2. What is it corresponding value?
IC, sir.
So this
IC and
will
IB.
be, so this will be IB and this will be IC. The same way for 2 pi by 3. The same way for pi. For 2 pi by 3 minus IB max by 2. This one is half I minus half, and this one is IB min, and this is I min. So these are all the values we have got. Now substitute all these values, whatever we have got now, substitute all this value in the equation number 4. Yeah, substitute it and let me know the equations. Substitute in equation number 4 and tell me the equation. Ananya Patak, what is the first equation?
Yes, sir. The fourth equation is B0 plus B1 cos omega t plus B2 cos omega 2t and B3 cos omega 3t plus B4 cos omega 4t. We'll replace omega t as 0, sir.
What you'll get?
So you'll get B0 plus B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4. All cos omega t will become 1.
IC, no, IC, you missed up IC.
Oh, sorry, sir. Yes, sir. I see you do that.
IC plus B0 plus B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4.
Yes, sir.
Now take this as equation number 5. Similarly, for pi by 3 and all, we have to write the equation. So we get IC plus B0 plus B1 by 2 minus B2 by 2 minus B3 minus B4 by 2. This 1 by 2 and all, it depends upon the cos value. So now take this as equation number 6. Next is IC, that is equal to IC plus B0 minus B2 plus B4. This is equation number 7. I minus half is equal to IC plus B0 minus B1 by 2 plus B2 minus, this is also minus B2 by 2 plus B3 plus B4 by 2. Take this as equation number 8. And the last one, I min is equal to IC plus B0 minus B1 plus B2 minus B3 plus B4. So take this as equation number 9. So now we have to solve all this equation. If you see this equation, it is very difficult to solve this equation, and it is complex. It needs a lot of time to simplify this equation. So that's why what we do is solving for 5 unknowns. Which are the 5 unknowns?
B0 to B4, sir.
B0
to B4, sir.
B4. So using equation 5 to 9, just write this much and we'll write the final equation. Now how to get this final equation suddenly? So for that, I have, just for remembrance, I have created that table, it is not relevant to the derivation. Even in exam, you should not write the table. It is just for getting the exact equation. So there is no logic or anything in that. It is just a table for remembering the equations. So we'll V naught, V1. In the textbook also I have given this, but no other textbooks we have this. B3, B4, and other hand on x-axis you write it as I max, I half, I minus 1 by 2, I min, and last is IC. So these are all the available unknowns. These are all the values of, these are all the values of which? Which current? These are all the values of which current?
Collector current, sir.
Collector current. So along x-axis, we will be listing out the collector current values. Along y-axis, you are going to list out the unknowns. So here there is no confusion because already in the table we have written this. Now, the first is 1 by 6, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 6, 1 by 12. And this will be 1, 1, 1, 1. So 2, 1, 0, minus 2, minus 4. This is 2, minus 1, 0, 2, minus 4. Sorry. Sorry, I missed out something. So for Imax, all ones. For this one, 2, 1, 0, minus 2, minus 4. For this one, 2, minus 1, 0, 2, minus 4, 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1, minus 6, 0, minus 2, 0, 6. This is the table. If you remember this table, you can write the equations. These are the equations for B naught, B1, B2, B3 and all. You can write. But don't write this in examination. You just write it in your rough page. If this question is going to appear, write this in rough page, and looking into that, you can write the equation. Okay. Now first, how to remember this table? It is left to you the way you want. Again, see 1 by 6 you are having, here 1 by 12. So all are fractions only. Here you have 6, here it is double, 12. Here you are having 3, here it is 6, it is double, 3 plus 3. The middle one is the 4. 1 by 4, that you can remember. And I max all are ones. For I half, 2, 1, 0, minus 2, minus 4. So the numbers which are on the either side of 0, they get doubled. Here we are having 1, here it becomes 2. And here we are having positive sign, here it becomes negative sign, and the end values 2, here we are having 2, it doubles and it becomes 4. Here we are having positive value, here we are having negative value. Next, the same way, so 2 minus 1, 0, 2 minus 4. You can remember it. And here, same for Imax, you had all ones, same way. I mean, you'll have all ones, but alternatively, you'll be having minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1. Next, for IC, the first term and the last term will be same, but with opposite sign. Minus 6 is here, 6 is here. 0, 0, the middle one, minus 2. So like this, somehow you can remember based upon your convenience. Now looking on to this, write the first equation, B naught. So whatever we are having 1 by 6, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 6, 1 by 12, no, this is the multiplier. It is the main multiplier for the entire equation. So first write 1 by 6. Listen to this carefully, otherwise you'll not understand the relationship between this table and the equation. So 1 by 6 is going to multiply the entire equation. Next, for B naught, 1 into I max plus 2 into I half, 2 I half. Next, 2 into I minus half plus 1 into I min. It's I min. And now one thing you should remember, since you are multiplying this, so for IC you should take it as 6 IC. IC you should take it as minus 6 IC. Okay, so minus 6 IC. If you multiply inside, it will become only minus IC. If you can remember, you can write it outside, but let us not have that confusion. Now, if you have not understood this, at least now concentrate. 1 by 3 into 1 into I max plus 1 into I half minus 1 into I minus half and minus 1 into I min minus I min, 0 into IC, 0. So IC term will not come here. So B2. Rohit, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there, sir.
Can you tell me how we can write B2 on seeing to this equation? I mean the table.
Sir, 1 by 4 will be the outside of this whole, okay, followed by the Imax plus, sir, this will be both the consecutive terms will be 0. That is this one. And
only I mean.
Yeah, sir, I'm with that.
Then minus 2 IC. Same way. Okay. So B3, 1 by 6 I max minus 2 I half plus 2 I minus 1 by 2 minus I min. So B4, 1 by 12 I max minus 4 I half plus 6, okay, minus 4 I minus half plus I min plus 6 IC. So these are the equations for B0, B1, B2, B3, B4. Why you require this equations is, see, sometimes in the problems they will give you maximum value, minimum value of the current, collector current, and they'll ask you to find distortion. So in order to find the distortion, you need to know B3 and B2 value, this B values you need to know, because if you want to find out D3, you need to know B3 by B1. This is the formula for D3. So you need to take B3 equation, substitute whatever the current values they have given, and substitute whatever B1 related values they have given, and then you can find. So that's why remembering this equation is very, very important. If they not ask in the derivation, if the derivation is not also asked also, they can ask in problems. So where you need to know these equations. So second harmonic distortion, we have D2 is equal to B2 by B1 into 100. Similarly, third harmonic distortion, we are having D3 is equal to B3 by B1 into 100. Fourth harmonic distortion, we are having D4 is equal to B4 by B1. Can anyone tell me why I am taking in the denominator, I am taking B1 only?
That's the fundamental signals.
Yes, good. That is the fundamental signal. So here we are going to find out how much your present signal is varied with respect to the fundamental signal. That's why we are taking the fundamental signal at the denominator and our present signal at the numerator. Now, the total AC power output due to distortion is equal to the same way what we did in the last second harmonic distortion. So there we had half B1 square RL plus half B2 square RL. Here half B1 square RL plus half B2 square RL plus half B3 square RL plus half B4 square RL. Now take up half B1 square RL outside. So you'll get 1 plus B2 square by B1 square plus B3 square by B1 square plus B4 square by B1 square. So half B1 square RL, what does it indicate?
Yes.
D, sir.
Half
B2
B1
square, sir.
No, I'm asking about this one. Half B1 square RL, what does it indicate?
PAC.
PAC. So PAC 1 plus B2 by B1 gives you D2 square. Same way, this gives you D3 square plus D4 square. So now we'll take D is equal to root of D2 square, total distortion formula. D3 square plus D4 square. I mean, D square is equal to D2 square plus D3 square plus D4 square. This is the total distortion. We are going to sum up everything. So we take the root. So now the above equation can be written in a simplified form as PAC D is equal to PAC into 1 plus D square. So this is the simplified form. So if they're asking you the total harmonic distortion considering 4 harmonics, 5 harmonics, you have to take D2, D3, D4, D5 and you have to simplify, you need to calculate D2, D3, D4 and sum it up and take the root of that and substitute here, or you can just substitute the value. So anyhow, we are having the square here. So anyway, you can do. So this is the equation for total power output for higher order harmonics. So this is the derivation. So we'll stop it here.